Hello, this is Jim. I'm getting a little bit. I haven't got my voice back yet from my cold I had the last couple of weeks, but I just want to give you an update on what I've been doing here. Uh, I've been working on a elevated O-scale model railroad. My house is too small to really have a dedicated layout, so I thought, well, why can't I enjoy my trains that I have I can run through my house like I've seen so many other people do in their houses. So that's what I started to do. And so what I've done so far is, if you can look around, I've got an elevated platform it's 12 inches wide, and it's just basically right below the base of the roof line as it goes up to the ceiling. And so that's what I've done so far. It doesn't seem like much, but it's actually been quite a lot of work, because I had use these standards that looking at different ways to hang this up, and it seemed like the standards were probably the quickest and the most reliable and the easiest method to get them all pretty much level. So I bought a whole bunch of standards, double wide standards with the brackets or the double wides. I used 3/4 inch plywood for the base, and reinforced the bottom of it so that it would try to keep it as level as possible with so just some 2x2s, just to keep the strength. I'm going to wind up. You can see that right here is like one of the 2x2s right here, and I just screwed and glued it onto the bottom of the 2x4. And it's just basically to keep the plywood level as much as possible and keep some stability to it. Because I don't know if you've ever hung shelves, you know that they have a tendency to warp over time, especially if you got weight on them. So I will try to keep them as stable as possible. Also, what I've done is to keep the noise down, I started laying down this, it's a 1/2 inch foam, high density foam, insulation foam that a lot of model railroaders use on their layouts, because it's easy to work with. It's a good sound insulation, and you can actually sculpt it and make mountains and whatever out of it. And it's also, you can paint it. I've already painted a little section here. I'm going to fill those cracks in, but I'm just painting it, the base of it, to match the walls here, which is an ancient stone color. And I'll wind up, after filling the gaps, and I'll lay the track, and I'll wind up doing a little bit of ballasting. It doesn't need a whole lot of scenicking, just because you're not going to see that much of it. But right now I've got, I'm using Lionel Fast Track, which is, I started out, I was going to use Atlas, their O-gauge track, and it's hard to come by. Apparently there's some problems with the supplier over in China, so the Lionel seems like it's the most reliable and available of all the track systems out right now for O-scale, 3-rail at least, and so that's what I've done. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to make it's going to be all command control, so there's not going to be any, I'm not going to do any junctions, other than I might do a couple of loops that are insulated just for siding or something like that. But basically everything's going to be controlled by the command controller. I'm just going to come down here off my ladder. I'm using the Lionel ZW transformer. I've got 2 of the, I guess they're the 800 watt transformers, which is basically, each one's about 10 amps of power apiece for 18 volts. This is my legacy command controller. This is what I use to control my trains with, once I get everything going. If you can see, this is, I posted some pictures on my Facebook page. This is kind of how I did it. I used the standards. I used the 3/4 plywood, reinforced with the 2x2s, and I screwed and glued it, and just trying to make something strong enough to hold up basically this. This is the Lionel Vision Series Big Boy, which is, this by itself weighs in at over 20 pounds, so it's not light. And then I have this cab forward, Southern Pacific cab forward, and I have some other, a couple other heavy steam engines, and these are all on the Vision line. This one's very interesting because it has steam and it has sound. It does simulates that the coal is being used in the tender. It blows steam out the sides. It's got a steam whistle. It's very sophisticated. It's a pretty amazing train, actually. So this is what I'm doing right now. The plan is, after I finish this part of the room, I'm going to wind up, I'm going to run a couple of tunnels. One of them is going to be right here. This goes into one of the bedrooms, and it's going to run in through that bedroom, and then it's going to go to the master bedroom, and it's going to be a loop. But I'm also doing a reverse loop in a Y over here, so I can, and I'm also going to do another thing I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to do a switch that comes out, and I'm going to drop it down, and I'm eventually going to do a rail yard with a turntable in that room. It's going to be pretty high, and there's also going to be a couple of switchovers just so I can move the trains around. So that's all I got for now. Slow going. I kind of built things in my head, and so maybe they're not as fast as it should be, but this is what I'm doing for now. So this is Jim. Hope you like it. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.